Hello everybody, welcome back to my Daily Dose with Tim. Today is season 3, episode 60. So that means this is the last episode of this season, as I mentioned before. And today I'm actually coming to you on location at the beautiful, what's this place called? Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge. It's the first time I'm actually spending some time here, and this was just really to break the trip up because every time we drive back to Vancouver for the summer, we usually gun it. So we usually drive for 12, 13 hours straight, and now realizing that this is probably not the best for our mind and for our body these days. And so the thing about it though is that for this episode, seeing that this is the last one for season 3, I really just do want to share a little bit about my personal journey once again, and to really emphasize on the ideas and the differences and understanding and getting some clarity, more importantly, for everybody still in terms of financial freedom versus financial independence. And many of you, if you've been following me since season 1, you understand that I think a lot of people tend to think that financial freedom has become one of those catchphrases, and which I probably would not disagree, because so many people, they are leveraging that as their marketing tool. However, at Trust Your Talent, or even for me, myself, what I've really learned, and I think defined for everybody since day one, is that when you have clarity, it makes reaching your goals a lot easier, and definition actually matters. So here we go again. Okay, financial freedom, I break it down into 3 different levels, and this is really how we operate and how we share our journeys and teach our students at Trust Your Talent as well, is the fact that for financial freedom, break it down into 3 different numbers. Excuse me. The first one is what we call the get out of the rat race number, and what that means really is that you have enough passive income that's going to cover all your basic daily expenses. Okay, so basic daily expenses typically for most people include either your house payment, meaning mortgage, property taxes, insurance, utilities, and all that, or if you're not owning your own home, which is, again, not a bad thing. If you're financially educated, you understand the difference there now, okay? Your own home is not your biggest asset. For most of us, it is our biggest liability. So again, it's simply a matter of choice once you understand that. And so again, covering your basic expenses and going from home expenses to, well, we all gotta eat, so there's groceries, and we all need to basically carry on with the day-to-day. So these days, internet, other types of utilities, very important. And of course, we gotta shower, we gotta bathe, we gotta make sure that there are other things that we need for basic survival. So that's really what it is. And so that's financial freedom number 1, is to have that goal to be very clear. And for most of us, how we start doing that is to simply add up all these basic expenses ourselves. And then we have a very clear picture. And now it comes down to having a very meaningful conversation to strategize on how to actually hit that goal. And then the second goal now is what we call the job replacement number. Because why? This is why so many people get caught up in a job. And I was definitely one of them as well, because again, my job actually paid me relatively well. It didn't just pay me enough so that I could have a lifestyle. It paid me enough that I could have a very decent lifestyle. And that's why for most of us, it was difficult to let go of. However, again, for many of us, what that also means is we're selling our time at a highly discounted rate. Okay, I want everybody to really think about what your time is worth. And more importantly, time is the only resource that none of us can create more of. And so I remember one of my earlier mentors said that effectively financial freedom is really time freedom, because once you're able to cover all your basic expenses, you are no longer a slave to a job that you have to get up for every morning just so that you can sell your 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day. This really is a combination of work hours. Some of us have to commute. I mean, some of us get to work from home a little bit more these days. However, the whole point is financial freedom really is time freedom first and foremost, so that it gives you the opportunity, and for some of us over time, the resources to really pursue the projects and the careers that we really, really enjoy. Or if for nothing else, over my entire career, I have seen so many of my friends, once they actually became financially free, they actually started enjoying their jobs again. Why? Again, I'm not one of those people that want to ask you to really quit your job, fire your boss, and all that kind of stuff, because to me, that is not financial freedom. Financial freedom is having the time choices, honestly, period, options in life that you can do whatever you want, okay? And so I have so many friends that really, once they became financially free, they chose to stay in their jobs, because the moment they realize that their livelihood does not depend on the paychecks that come from the job anymore, they become a lot happier again, and they enjoy, and they have this aha moment of why they got into that career in the first place. And that's what I always say. Other than the politics and the backstabbing and the decreasing in morale in my past corporate job, from a job standpoint, I actually really enjoy what I was doing, because I got to help people every single day to solve problems and to make more money. Because I think that's also probably why I'm super passionate about being in the industry that I am now, and that I've been able to create and carve out a role for me to continue to make an impact. It's just that I'm also very, very blessed and very grateful to have been joined by so many capable people, and that has now formed the Trust Your Talent training team. And so last but not least is financial freedom number 3, which is honestly the do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want, with whoever you want, for however long you want. And I think this is also probably one of the main things that really triggered today's episode and the topic, and what I really want to share with everybody, simply because of the fact that we used to do 12, 13-hour drives, and then all of a sudden yesterday, we just realized that, you know what, we want to break it up, simply because of the fact that it is no longer healthy mentally and physically for us to be in a vehicle for 12, 13 hours with, 2 puppies, and it's not fair for them either. And obviously, many of you understand that one of my highest values is travel, seeing the world, getting more exposure culturally, and just stretch my life experiences. And this is actually one of the places that I've been thinking about visiting for a long time now. And this is, and before, clearly, this is not by all means a cost-effective place to be spending just one night at. However, I'm constantly aware of the fact that we have worked really, really hard to get to where we are today. And this is also one of the main reasons why I quote Bill Gates' quote so much these days, is that so many of us overestimate what we can accomplish in 1 year, and yet underestimate how our life can really fundamentally shift in 10 years of consistent effort. And yes, I modified the quote a little bit today. However, for many of us, I know if you're looking ahead, you might say, whoa, 10 years, that's a long time. However, that's the thing. The time will pass anyway. All of a sudden, a lot of people that I'm catching up with these days, they are now saying, wow, you know what? I can't believe the last time we talked to each other was 5 years ago. The last time we saw each other was 6, 7 years ago. And the funny thing is, when I look at their lives, nothing's really changed. And yet, when I look at my own life, and more importantly, the lives of people that are in the Trust Your Talent community these days, in the last couple of years, so many lives have changed, and if for nothing else, have begun to change. And that's the whole idea behind all of this, is that you don't have to worry about looking ahead, because when you look back, all the dots will connect. And I believe that that's actually one of the concepts that Steve Jobs shared at the Stanford commencement speech as well. So the whole point behind all of this is that I remember being very, very new at learning financial education, on this journey as a real estate investor, and subsequently become an investor in other industries and other business ventures as well, is the fact that I just thought, oh my goodness, I don't know when I'm gonna get there, the funny thing is though, I think Ray and I, we have been reflecting quite a bit these days, and we do say that we're so very lucky, so very blessed. At the same time, again, it's because every step of the way we had to make hard choices. We had to choose to continue to grow. We had to choose to fight through whatever obstacles that were coming our way. And as a result, our lives are so very different today. And I think both of us, especially, well, not especially, I mean, both of us came from lower middle class, and if anything, Ray will tell you that they were basically almost on welfare. And I just firmly believe, both of us really do firmly believe that everybody, if they put their mind to it and they have the right tool and they're surrounded by the right people, it's not a matter of if, it's really a matter of when. And I feel like I'm sounding a bit like an infomercial, because it's like, if I can do it, anybody can, that kind of thing. And more so over the years, every time I watch infomercials now, I used to laugh at it, and now it actually draws me in a little bit more, just simply because of the fact that I really do believe that if I could do it, anybody can. And so that's the thing about financial freedom. However, I really also, as I addressed in the beginning, want to talk about financial independence. And I think there's still a little bit of confusion between the difference of the two. And the two of them actually go hand in hand together. It's not one or the other. Financial independence, in my opinion, and the way we define it, is that you no longer have to depend on somebody else or a job to create money, to create financial resources. And so if you look at the phrase financial independence, being independent at your finances, that is really what it is. And so again, you can choose whether or not financial freedom is something that you want to achieve, or again, being financially independent is something that you strive for. And part of that is make sure that your earned income bucket and your passive income bucket are filled to the point that you are effectively able to not rely on any other sources other than what you create for yourself. And so that is the key here, is that you have the ability to create financial means for you at any given time. It doesn't matter what the economy is doing. It doesn't matter what the market is doing, because there will always be ways for us to make money. And I think once I understood the power of that and started to live that life completely changed in the sense that I no longer feel trapped. I no longer feel sad or depressed or anxious about how I'm ever going to keep my life going, the lifestyle that I have. And really, isn't it that what we're all after? Is that we're able to sleep better at night, we're able to go, well, whatever options that we want, we have, or at least have access to. And really, that's something that I really want to share with everybody today. And this is really a bit of a retrospective also, in the sense that it is really, sometimes when I look back, starting at 28 years old, it was definitely interesting, and it was definitely not easy. And I know I've worked with people in the last almost decade now as a mentor, as a trainer in the financial education industry, and different walks of life, different age groups. And I've worked with anybody between the age of 17 all the way to 65 at this point. And everybody's got different goals. And the funny thing, actually, you know what, I'm gonna go back to that statement quickly, is that a lot of people tend to have the same goals, which is, I want financial freedom, I want to be financially independent. However, they all have different numbers, they all have different drivers in terms of what those phrases mean to them. And this is why, you know, I'm a big fan of really making sure that the definitions stick with everybody, because once you're very clear about the definition, then you can start to personalize it. And so your journey, your path to hitting your goal and to make sure that your definition is fulfilled is going to be different from one person to another. And for me, I always said that, I mean, this is why I love release options, and that was my baby strategy, because I know along the way I've got a lot of questions and criticisms, even just going, oh wow, why did you only do lease options? Because I mean, you know, like you said, when you do it well, you're not going to keep the property. And when it comes to leveraging real estate, don't you want to keep the properties for a long time? And again, if you've been following all 3 seasons, or even just this season, you understand my perspective on that. It's not about hanging on to properties. It's always about how hard is my money working for me. And I think being able to differentiate the 2 factors, or tearing up real estate investing and looking at it from 2 different perspectives, is also what's going to help so many more people get to their financial goal a lot faster. Lately, honestly, in our US portfolios, many of the properties have not been performing well. And so what I've been doing is we're actually offloading the non-performing properties, and so that we can recuperate the capital, recapture the capital, and put it to work. Again, the whole idea is that if we're working hard and working smarter already, shouldn't we make sure that our money is also working harder and working smarter for us? At the same time, though, again, we are the decision makers, and this is why financial education ultimately is the greatest asset for anybody. It has nothing to do with stocks or cryptos or what do people, EFTs and real estate these days. Okay, it has everything to do with understanding, strengthening, increasing, and growing your financial literacy. And so it's a never-ending journey. I'm still learning every step of the way, and I just hope to continue to share my journey with everybody. And so on that note, I really want to give you a very sincere thank you for making season 3 such an enjoyable and easy journey. As I mentioned, this has been 100% interactive for 60 episodes. And a couple of episodes, I did have to come up with some of the topics ahead of time. However, it's just been so amazing. Even I'm standing here a little amazed at the fact that this is episode 60 already. And it literally just feels like I started episode 1 for season 3 just yesterday. So on that note, I look forward to spending more time with you at the next season of my Daily Dose with Tim. And I'm going to flip the camera so that you can soak in some of this natural beauty. So I'm hoping that one day we will get to spend some time here together. It is absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning. And there's a little bit more to this. However, thank you so very much again, and enjoy your August wherever you are in the world. I know I have some Australians and a New Zealand audience, so it is basically winter for you. But enjoy your August, and I look forward to sharing more with you and interacting more with you. And let me know, like the episode, like the other episodes, make sure you go back and review them. And for the last time this season, live well, everybody. I will see you later.